Hi, today we are talking about heart and what is the significance and connection with 12 lead ECG. So this is our heart. Our heart divided to four chamber, which is right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, and left ventricle. So here we have aorta, to the left ventricle, and we have pulmonary artery to the lungs for gas exchange from right ventricle. So here we have the IVC and SVC. And here we have the pulmonary vein. So blood from IVC and SVC to the RA to the RV goes to the pulmonary artery, and oxygen, CO2 to oxygen from pulmonary vein to left atrium to the left ventricle, and left ventricle pump the blood to the aorta. So this is the mechanical circulation or systemic circulation. Now apart from this, we have conduction system where we have SA node, MV node, bundle of His, left bundle branch, right bundle branch, and Purkinje fiber. So this is our conduction system. So in our aorta, we have two artery coronary, left coronary artery and right coronary artery. The right coronary artery supply right ventricle until the inferior of heart. And also we have here right posterior descending artery and left ventricle posterior. Here is RCA. This one is right posterior descending artery and right posterior left ventricle. Here is left main coronary artery. This is the LAD, left artery descending, and this is the circumflex. So now the left main coronary artery is divided to two, which is LAD and LCS. The LAD is supply the anterior part of the heart, which is the LV, left ventricle, and the circumflex is supply the blood, oxygenated blood to the lateral side of left ventricle and some to the posterior part of left ventricle. The right coronary artery is supplied to the right ventricle, and some is supplying the right posterior descending artery, and one more is right posterior left ventricle. So some of the RCA is supplying the AV node also, and some supplying the SA node. So from the LAD, left artery descending, we have septal branch. Here septal branch, which is supplying the septal part of the heart, and we have also diagonal here, diagonal part branch, and we also have OM from the circ. So we have triathlete ECG, which is we plot it just like this. So we put the AVR at the right side of our upper chest, the FVL left side of upper chest, and FVF at the leg or below the chest level for the foot. Now we have V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6. So this is our triathlete ECG, where we put the 10 electrode top of patient body. This is AVR, AVL, AVF, V1, V2 divided by the septal, V3 and V4 is the anterior part of left ventricle, V5, V6 to the lateral side of the heart, and we have 3 limb lead, which is from the AVR goes to the lateral side AVL, we call it lead 1. From the AVR through goes to apex, from the SA node to AV node, AV node to the Purkinje fiber of the apex, we call it as lead 2. And there is a AVL to the foot, we call it as lead 3. So in triathlete ECG we have limb lead, and chest lead. Limb lead is lead 1, lead 2, lead 3, MBR, MBL, MBF. Chest lead is V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6. So how to know where is the location of STEMI from the ECG? So we call here the upper side. This is the upper side. This is we call upper side, high. This is we call high, which is lead 1. So this is we call inferior. The below part here is the inferior. Below. So which is AVF, and lead 2 going down to below to inferior, we call lead 2, and lead 3 is from upper to the lower side, lead 3 to the inferior. So inferior lead is AVF 2 and 3. AVF, lead 2 is going down to inferior, lead 3 is going down to inferior. So lead 2, 3 and AVF is inferior lead. So which part of artery that cover inferior lead is the RCA, right coronary artery, that supply oxygenated blood to the inferior part of the heart. So the anterior part, this is anterior, So the anterior part of our heart is the left ventricle. So which lead cover the left ventricle or showing the anterior part is the V3 and V4. V3 and V4 is the lead involved or showing the anterior part of the heart, V3 and V4. So which artery that cover the anterior part of the heart or the left ventricle of the heart is the LAD, left artery descending. So now what we call here is lateral. This side is lateral. So which lead that in the lateral side? So APL is a lateral. Lead 1 is a depolarization of impulse to the lateral. V5 and V6 is located to the lateral. So lateral lead is lead 1 because it goes to the lateral. APL is in the lateral. V5 and V6 is in the lateral also. So which one is the coronary artery that supply to the left and to the lateral of the heart is the circumflex, LCX. So now, which part of the posterior that supply which part of the artery that supply the posterior part? So here at the back here is the posterior. So which is in from the front of the 12-lead standard ECG, we can see to the V1 and V2, it was mirror image. To the posterior. So if we see V1, V2, ST depression, it might be posterior MI. Or we do posterior ECG. Which is V7, V8, V9. So this is posterior V1, V2 ST depression. And if we see V1 and V2 ST elevated, this is was septal MI because it's divided by the septum.